Hello. All right. So today in class, we were looking at 9.2, the circumference of a circle. We were using wiki sticks and rulers to measure the radius, which is from the center to the edge. Okay, so this is my radius. Measure the radius of circles. We also were using the wiki sticks to measure the diameter, which is from edge to edge going through the center. So this is my diameter. And we were also using the wiki sticks to help measure the circumference, which is going around the circle, the distance around my circle. Okay. We found the radius, diameter, and the circumference of each of the 5 circles on 484 for section 9.2. We found that. And as a class, we filled in all of these pieces of information here. Okay, we filled in each of the different radiuses, we filled in the different diameters, and we filled in the different circumferences. Okay, then we went and found the ratio of the circumference over the diameter. Okay, we found this for each of these 5 circles here. Okay, and we learned that this ratio is equal to pi. Okay, so our goal, what we wanted was to get to 3.14. And by seeing if this here, all of these added together, gets me to 3.14, I needed to go in and add all of these numbers up together, as I did over here off to the side, and divide it by 5. Now, for this particular class, we received 4.198. Okay? We learned that by receiving a number that is much higher than what we wanted, 1, our data could have been skewed. Okay? But 2, we also learned that everyone measures differently and we don't have the appropriate tools to accurately measure in a perfect world. Okay? In a perfect world. So if you would please flip over to problem number 3 on page 490. Okay, problem number 3 on page 490. We are taking a look at the circumference formula. Okay, so the number pi, which is right here, okay, it looks like this symbol. That's what the pi looks like. Is a ratio of the circumference to the diameter. So in a perfect world, okay, I keep saying perfect because we do not have the appropriate tools to measure, we would use the appropriate tools to find the circumference of a circle. Then we will take that and divide it by the diameter of that circle. Okay? If we had the perfect world and all the correct tools, we would receive pi, which if you type it into your calculator, you will notice that pi is equal to this really long number, 3.141592654, so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. Okay, a lot of you know the pi song. Okay, we are told that pi goes on for an infinite number of decimals, which means that number will keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. It never ends. Okay, but in 7th grade, we only look at pi in 2 ways. We look at pi in the symbol, okay, in the symbol, and then we look at pi in dealing with only the first 2 numbers after the decimal. So 3.14, okay, 3.14. All right, finding circumference, okay, finding circumference. If you notice on your star reference sheet, okay, if you notice on your star reference sheet, you will see that you have a circumference section. And this is to find the circumference of my circle or the distance around my circle. Okay, I can find it 2 ways. If I have the radius of my circle, I can use c equals 2 pi r, or I can use it by finding the diameter, c equals pi d. Now, the reason why I have 1d and I have 2r is think about this. Okay, think about this over here off to the side. If I have a diameter that's going straight through here, if I cover up this half of my diameter, I know that that is a radius. And if I cover up that half of my diameter, I know that this side is known as a radius. So how many radiuses or radii does it take to create 1 diameter? And we noticed and learned today that it's 2 radii or 2 radiuses to create 1 diameter, which is why I have 2 separate formulas. Okay? All right, so let's use our formulas here, and we're going to calculate the circumference of a couple of circles given to us. Moving that to the side. All right, number 3. The diameter of my circle is 4.1 or 4.5 centimeters, okay? And I want to compute the circumference of this circle. All right, so I'm told that D is equal to 4.5, okay? Now, which equation can I use knowing that I have the letter D in numbers? I can use the top equation. So C equals pi D. All right. Within this unit, between what we're learning today and from on, I want you to start with the formula. Then I want you to write me C equals pi times 4.5. Plug in your information. And then you will draw another line or create another line and solve it. Okay. I want to see 3 lines of work. I want you to start with the formula, then plug in your information. Always, always, always start with the formula. Super, super important. Always start with it. Okay. All right. When we are calculating pi and I'm multiplying, I'm going to use 3.14. Okay. So C is equal to 3.14 times 4.5. Okay. All right. Now let's go over here off to the side and multiply it here. 3.14 times 4.5. I do not have to line up my decimals in multiplying. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, placeholder. 4 and 4 is 16. 4 and 1 is 5, plus 1 is 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And then 4 times 3 is 12. Okay. Add these up. 0 and 0 is 0. 7 and 6 is 13. 10, 5 and 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 2, 3, 4, and then 1. Okay. I notice I have 2 and 1. I have a total of 3 decimals. 1, 2, 3. And I see that my circumference is equal to 14.13 centimeters. Okay. 14.13 centimeters. All right. Number 4, I am told that the radius is 6 inches. So R is equal to 6. And I want to find the circumference. All right. So I'm given R. And I notice that this equation or this formula here has the letter R in it. So that is the formula I'm going to use. So I'm going to write my formula down. C equals 2 pi R. I'm going to take 6 and plug him in for R. So C is equal to 2 pi times 6. Okay. And now I'm going to solve. I'm going to replace pi with 3.14. So 2 times, or C equals 2 times 3.14 times 6. Okay. I'm going to combine some numbers. 2 times 6 is 12. And 12 times 3.14. Okay. Let's go down here. 3.14 times 12. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Placeholder. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Add it up. 8 and 0 is 8. 4 and 2 is 6. 6 and 1 is 7. And then 3. And I have 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. 1, 2. And I see that my circumference here, okay, circumference is 37.68. 37.68. All right, number 5. The circumference is 6594. Now look, I know my circumference, 6594. I want to compute the diameter, which means my diameter is unknown. Which formula can I use to help me find the diameter? Which circumference formula? It's going to be the top one. So I'm going to C is equal to pi D. Okay. Now, the second line, I'm plugging in my numbers. So I'm going to take 65.94 and set it equal to pi times diameter. Okay. Change pi to 3.14. Now, I'm going to solve. Now, how do I undo multiplication? Division. So divide by 3.14, 3.14 on both sides. And D is going to equal, we're going to actually check up on the calculator. I'm not going to make you all do that by hand. 65.94 divided by 3.14. And my diameter should be 21. Okay, my diameter should be 21. All right, let's try one more. Number 6, I'm told that the circumference is 109.9, so C is equal to 109.9. I want to know the radius, so the radius is my unknown. Okay, my radius is my unknown. All right, which formula should I use to be able to find the radius? And that is this formula right here. C is equal to 2 pi r. All right, so first step, C equals 2 pi r. Okay. Second step, plug in my numbers. 109.9 equals 2 pi r. I'm going to change pi to 3.14. 2 times 3.14 r. And now I'm going to solve. Okay, my goal is to get r by itself. Well, right now, what I'm doing is I'm multiplying 2 by 3 times r. So I'm going to move this whole chunk over together. And I'm going to divide both sides by this. Okay, I'm moving the whole chunk together. To get r is going to equal 109.9. And then let's do 3.14 times 2 divided by 6.28. And then for those like me, let me get you your true answer. 109.9 divided by 6.28. 109.9 divided by 6.28. You should get 17.5 millimeters. 17.5. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, please let us know.